Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SportsGamer, and welcome to our weekly coverage of the ECL's Pro Division. My name is Tuki, joined once again by one King Lime. Lime, we got our wish, getting to call some more games here after, a power outage knocked me out of elite coverage yesterday. We had to give Sin another day off after a solo cast yesterday, but hey, circumstances worked out pretty well for us. Happy to be back here with you and getting to call these games.
You know, I'm not sure if it was to send the day off or the cast was so nice we decided to do it twice here, Tugi, and we're going to take this off today. And, you know, the Pro Division has been lights out so far. I'm excited to see some matchups tonight with two teams within the same group, not far from each other.
Absolutely. I mean, today's matchup, really featured our featured team today. Nova going to be in action for both of these matchups. Starting off today's action with Södertälje, and of course, a little bit later on, GIFU Hockey in action against them as well. And as we take a look at the standings here, all three of these teams involved in Group 1. And Lime, all three of them, you can see are right there on that left-hand side of the bracket, currently occupying playoff spots and battling for very important points against one another.
Yeah, you know, you couldn't get them any closer together, could you, Tugi? And, you know, that's what makes these games so much more important, where you've got 6-point swings all over the map tonight, don't you? As you've got Nova going up against Södertälje, where they, you know, they're going to really want to get those points as they are so close to each other. Only 1 point separating Nova and GIFU, and then GIFU only 1 point to Södertälje. So, you know, these games have a little more in them than normal.
Or say 30-game regular season as well. So you can see on that right-hand side of the bracket, there are, some teams that are pretty far behind at this stage, but do have games to make up. So the results today could certainly open the door, maybe that window of opportunity for some of these teams to try to battle back. But for now, we focus on those three teams currently occupying 6, 7, and 8. And again, Södertälje and Nova kicking us off. Let's get a look at the stats for those two teams so far in this season. As you get a look here, both with a positive goal differential alignment, and frankly, it's a pretty even matchup.
Yeah, you know, it is a pretty even matchup when you go all the way down the board. The goals for not far off, the goals against very close, only separated by 1. Their special teams have been very good, and the records are close as well. I think the only thing that is differential between these two teams is Södertälje is 4-5-1 over their last 10 games, where Nova is picking up 7-3. So Nova's been hot, and they look to extend that here tonight.
Again, the new, point structure as well. 3 points for a regulation win, 2 for an overtime win, 1 for an overtime loss. Regulation loss, you walk away with nothing. It's created a new situation in terms of the standings that we are continuing to see play out. It's creating these point races that are that much closer, I would say. But with that, let's take a look at the lineups for our opening matchup here again between Nova and Södertälje. And we'll get into the details and the specifics of these two teams. What catches my eye immediately is you do have some guys with that little bit of extra experience, at least in my time covering the ECL, both on the Södertälje side of things with Sveti and Sorsa, and having that extra bit of experience can be huge, especially in a situation like this where, again, you're trying to lock down a playoff spot.
Yeah, you know, exactly what they say, why teams go out and pick up that veteran presence on their teams in regular NHL or over in Europe as well. You know, you want to have the guys who have won those cups, who have played in those big games, so the nerves are calm getting them through here. And that's exactly what I recognize on the right-hand side as well, Tugi. But why don't you run us through who's going to be playing for these squads?
Absolutely. With that, we'll just go ahead. We'll go straight to the head-to-heads. Why not? We'll have plenty of time to uh, to second guess ourselves when it comes to certain pronunciations here. So this will be a fun one. Let's go to that center matchup here between these two, as it is Pakis against Vladian, and we take a look at these two numbers so far. And Lime, I mean, at a base level, it's about all you could ask for, really. Over a point per game, both over 50% on the faceoff.
Yeah, exactly right. What more could you ask for from your centers here, Tugi? They're putting the puck in the back of the net. They like to move it around. Obviously, more goals on the right hand side of Södertälje. But you're basically even. I love the face-off percentage. Both of these guys over 50%. We know with the high pressure system here in NHL 24, this game really has become a possession game, hasn't it, Tugi? And winning the face-off, it all starts there.
With that, we'll switch it over to the battle of the wingers here. As for Nova, we again get a look at Pauner and Nestor. On the other side, Zupe and Sveti. And Lime, it's not all that uncommon, of course, to see the wingers kind of leading the charge when it comes to the offensive side of things. But we see it here again, and it's going to be which one of these duos can really get things going, that is going to see, the points decided today.
Yeah, and I think what stands out to me the most when you take a look at all four of these forwards is the hit totals on these guys. You got Nestor with 137 hits, and then you pop over to the right hand side and look at Zupe and Sveti, where they've got 71 hits and 159 hits as well. So on that right hand side for both hockey clubs, they love to lay the body and have that left winger come in and pick up the puck. We've seen how successful that is with Artuzio and laying the body and allowing his wingers and center to pick up that rock and carry it out the other way. It looks like that has been the meta in NHL 24, and it looks like it's working for these wingers so far.
And physicality, the name of the game, with the physical changes there. The hip check, of course, was once quite strong, still a useful weapon now at this stage. We'll see how the physicality works out between those four. The defensive side of things next for this matchup. We have Alex and Deco on the left, with David and Maisie on the other side. And Lime, kind of a similar situation, right? You look at the left defenders, pretty similar. You look at that right side, a bit more in terms of point production so far. It
Mhm.
kind of shows just, hey, you see these two teams in terms of the standings and how close they are. Then you look at the numbers, they're close there as well.
Yeah, and I think we'll have to get a check over on the side of Södertälje. Are these defensemen wearing goalie gear, Tugi? 20 block shots with 29. That's pretty impressive numbers. A total of 49 block shots between the two of them. Obviously making things easy in the back for Sorsa. As a veteran player, you absolutely love that. And when you take a look over at the side of Nova, a lot of assists coming from these guys, not a lot of goal production, and that's the same on the right hand side, and pretty familiar territory for the defenseman in pro.
And of course, our final head to head, you mentioned one of them already, in goal for Södertälje. It will be Sorsa. On the other side, Baronizer in this matchup. And both of them, again, over that number that you want to be in terms of the 80% save percentage. But this could be another big part here in terms of the difference maker, and how this matchup goes is what goalie can have that stronger performance today.
Yeah, and the only thing that really separates these guys is the games played, isn't it, Tugi? Where the save percentage, goals against average, very similar, only one shutout separating these two guys. So they've been putting up pretty much basically the same numbers. It's just going to be, if you can hold on to those numbers. Obviously, Baronizer has done that through 18 games. Sorsa, no surprise here to the ice surface. So, we're just going to have to see who gets one by these very, very good goaltending numbers so far.
So again, we are just a few moments away here. The first matchup of this broadcast, 4 games in total for Nova on this program here, as they'll take on Södertälje for the first 2 games, and then GIFU hockey a little bit later on as well. Again, 6, 7, and 8 in the standings. A great opportunity for all 3 of these teams to try and take those steps forward to securing a playoff spot. Not going to be able to mathematically do it today, but can get that much closer, especially as we've continued to see separation throughout the Group 1 standings. There aren't too many teams really within striking distance at this stage, but
No.
again, we still have a bit of a ways to go. We talked about the differences in the amount of games played between some of these teams. It does set up opportunity, maybe for someone to battle back if someone were to have a particularly bad day. And again,
Well,
for Nova, they're the ones in the spotlight here, Lime. All 4 games involved in this broadcast, they will be on the ice.
and I think that one thing about Nova that's so interesting, they are in that 8th place. They are 7-3 in their last 10 games, but they do have the most goals for per game in 3.17 here this season, where you go up to Södertälje, where they're at a 2.15, and GIFU Hockey only at a 2.6. So the fact that they have more goals for could be beneficial for them going into these battles, but pump the brakes. They do have the most goals against at a 2.5, where GIFU Hockey at a measly 1.5 and Södertälje at a 2. So, and it is beneficial having the goals for on your side, but you have to make sure you keep those goals against down when you're going against a 6th and a 7th place squad in your own group.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point there too. And you want to talk about for Nova, what they have to do to get into that playoff spot. Well, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
Keep up that goal scoring, but find a way to play that little bit of extra shutdown defense. Give your goaltender
Right.
a little bit of extra help. And again, today's matchup will go a long way in deciding if they are able to kind of take that next step. As we said, hopefully for them secure a playoff spot. We get a look here at the 2 teams in the lobby, and well, I mean, I always like to look at the different matchups, and for Nova, gold big tipper,
Like it?
2 gold 1 tees, and a gold no contest as well on the right D side of things. And in fairness, Södertälje on the other side, the same exact offensive setup. This could end up being an interesting matchup here.
You're not wrong about that. The gold no contest, you almost threw me for a little bit of a loop there. The big tipper, no surprise there how overpowered that is, Tugi. And if you want to see some overpowered hockey, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night. Is Brandon jumping in with my man Tugi, and you guys got some good games on the docket here.
We do. Yippee Vaskala and the Fallon Coal Miners, Roots Gaming taking on Hamo as well. So indeed, that was actually breaking news to me. But again, Lime, it's one of those things in regards to, I don't get to work with Sin. Well, cool. I get to work with Lime. I get to work with Major. We have some incredible talents in the booth, of course, regardless of who is there. So I'm getting spoiled this week. And hey, we might very well be getting spoiled with this particular matchup. It is game number 1, Nova and Södertälje, the first of 2 games, the home-and-home matchup in this regular season. Again, Group 1 action here for our Pro Division as Baki's tried to find that short side. It goes all the way back down to the other zone. Contact there in the neutral zone and line. You kind of talked about the effectiveness of Big Tipper. It's one of those things, throughout the early stages of NHL 24, we've seen some gameplay changes and changes to the meta perhaps. And, it's the teams that can adapt early on.
Right.
I think that are going to be able to have that extra success compared to NHL 23, where the game came out and, hey, that was the game.
And there it is. We're seeing it activated right away. And, it's no surprise. And I don't even think you need it, Tugi, with how successful it is in the game with the tipping animations this season. It's been, or this game, I should say, or game year, it has been very, very successful to get those bodies in front. And we just see one early already in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Face off here. Good job by Nova to get that one away. Getting that full pressure right as it was activated. The line, Zuppe had nowhere to go. Gets it back, and actually, this is back to the point. Not what I thought he was going to do. Good one-time attempt. Tried to sneak it 5-hole, and some close calls for Baronizer in that stretch.
That was a cheeky little play, wasn't it, Tugi? Back to the point there. I didn't expect that either, but it came with a big one-timer and ended up going wide. That opened up almost a perfect play there on the left-hand side for Zuppe, and here he comes again.
And glove save. Baronizer being called upon early on in this game, but up to the challenge so far.
And two great chances by Zupe off that left-hand side. The 5-hole didn't work. He decided to go glove side, but Baronizer, he was ready for that too.
Another face-off here, yet again won by Södertälje as they keep this one in the attacking zone. Betty takes his time. Hockey's down low. Good movement here. Tried to send it across. Deco was there to pick it off. Esther over the blue line. Nova trying to get their first bit of offense. No space to work with so far. Vladian over to Ponner. Good movement here from Nova again as they try to get some momentum. That one nearly picked off, at least knocked out back to the neutral zone. Not
much offensive zone time here for Nova so far as they look to get this one in. They've been shut down at the line, and there they go again.
So you're back in possession halfway through this first period. Go for the hard around play there. Pakis is there. Drop by Nestor to take it away. Numbers here for Nova if they can find the space. Good moves for Nestor. Deco, shot, saved by Sorsa. Prevents the rebound.
Yeah, those are easy saves for Sorsa, aren't they, Toogie? With his veteran presence in between the pipes, you're going to have to get some bodies in front of him and trying to clear up some space for him not to be able to see that puck to get some by him.
Alex can't get that shot through. Penalty called here. I think we had another instance line of somebody trying to get a hold of a loose puck.
Yeah, I do just see that here on the tablet. Toogie, it was the center there in Vladian. I think he was going for a shot in front, and it is going to be Södertälje to try and capitalize in the offensive zone, and maybe the penalty won't be needed. Just kidding.
It was quite a hip check there. We said it was still a useful tool, and indeed, Vladian going back to that play down the other way, takes the penalty off the interference, and hey, we'll get another look at it there, and those type of bumps. I mean, we've seen a lot of people get called for those this season.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting when they brought in stuff like the hip check, you know, the elbowing, the cross-checking. Anytime you're going into a corner, you can take a penalty. So discipline, you know, is very, very important this season, where last season it really wasn't.
See what the power play can do here on their first effort. Quick one-timer. They tried to get that tip in front again for Bakis. Couldn't quite get it. Puck is cleared back to the neutral zone. Quickly back over the line. An odd angle one-timer. Again, looking for that deflection in front. Good save by Baronizer.
Toogie, I got my just the tip tally on marker here for Södertälje. That's their second one of the game, and they're going to look for a few more of those. They've been 29% on the power play so far. Nova, 82% on the PK. So pretty good special teams going head-to-head right here.
Face-off, another win. One-timer, they went for the deflection again. A good glove save. Full pressure here. 20 seconds left on the power play. Tried to send it across, just missed. They'll have time to work. Sent across, bounces around. Ponder's able to clear. Breakaway out of the box. Vladian is denied. Great save by Sorsa, who plays it back out in line. You could see the slowdown effect on Vladian there out of the box from full pressure, still being active on the other side. Even though that timer's down to 2 seconds, still quite didn't have the speed he wanted.
It definitely affected him, and I think Sorsa took that to his advantage, didn't he? Let him make the first move. He really slowed down. He kind of sat on the goal line. If we get another look at that, and what a save he made.
Odd angle shot there. Alex down the other way. Nova trying to steal this first period here. They've been hemmed into their own zone for most of it. Short angle shot by Nestor is stopped.
You know, Source has just been very, very good in this game when he's had to be, and he hasn't had too much, has he, Toogie? He's made the saves he's had to. That breakaway save obviously was gorgeous, but it hasn't been a busy night for him so far. It's really been Baronizer who's been asked up to the task, and he's answered.
Final minute of play in the first period. Södertälje trying to find that goal that's eluded them. Despite some good efforts, another chance there. Puck in the corner, 4 seconds left. Shot through the traffic on goal. And credit to Baronizer, a tremendous first period to keep his team in it because Nova really couldn't get the offense going.
No, they didn't spend a lot of time in the offensive zone. I'm excited to see what the time on attack was. Tugi, 4 tips for Södertälje, and they were from all over the ice, weren't they? Berenizer answers in big and gorgeous fashion, making all the saves here in this period, and they were not any easy task, as you see on some of the replays here. That flashy glove save as we pop over to the stats, and it just really tells the tale of the tape. Nova not able to get into the offensive zone. Their passing has been very weak, 55%. That's not a normal tally that we're used to seeing in the faceoffs. Has ran at the side of Södertälje, and it's really been Södertälje's period, Tugi.
I mean, through that first, we kind of saw just how well they patrolled their own blue line and
Right.
stopped most of those, entries. The best chance of the game was, that breakaway immediately after getting out of the box there for Vladian. We'll see if Nova can battle back here. Second period about ready to begin. As always, ECL action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakriti. It is the first game of 2 regular season matchup between these two teams. Again, Nova, our spotlighted matchup today. They'll take on GIFU Hockey a little bit later on. Again, a familiar scene here. Södertälje getting set back up in the offensive zone. Good job there by Vladian. Esther nowhere to go. Deco pinching in to try to make something happen here for Nova. Vladian gets it back after losing it in the double team. Pressured here in the corner. Down low, short angle there. Sorsa able to make the save. And Lime, you can't really discount the saves by Sorsa so far. Wasn't called upon too many times in that first period. It can be tough to save some of these odd angle shots.
Well, not only that, when you're cold and you're not seeing the puck very often, it almost becomes easier if you're Berenizer, as you're seeing shot after shot after shot, being able to reset yourself. Sorsa has been able to sit down there and kind of, play solitaire and then make some saves when he has to, which almost becomes more of a, an instance of defeat.
Slap shot there. Maisie was able to get that one through. Good movement again. Betty tried to get to the forehand. Alex was able to take it away. Chess mistimed at the line. That was close. Another tough break for Nova.
Yeah, and they haven't really been able to get their footing under them, have they, Tugi? They've had trouble getting into the offensive zone, and that's been interesting considering they're 7-3 in their last 10, where the team, on the other hand, that's been really rocking them has only won 40% of their last 10 games.
A good save by Berenizer. Thought he might get caught with the wraparound. Full pressure here. So you saw the pinch by Maisie. Tried the short side. Berenizer makes the save again. That was a great play by the right defenseman. And still full pressure here. I'll tell you, good movement. Works it to the point. Maisie the one-timer. Good stop again by Berenizer. Steps into the loose puck for the one-timer that was blocked.
Happy Gilmore that one from the slot there, Tugi.
Oxy able to get it to the boards. Wraparound bid, and Berenizer's there as well. Lime, what is it going to take for them to get a puck past him?
It's been tough for them, hasn't it? And Berenizer isn't making it easier. Neither is this hockey club in Södertälje, as they've been so aggressive. They haven't taken their foot off the gas at least once. Nova can barely catch their breath. They just got to get something into the offensive zone, maybe a face-off down though to turn things around. I don't even think they've seen the offensive zone yet this period, as we're halfway through the hockey game, Tugi.
One-timer blocked down. Second chance as they scramble for the loose puck. He wraps it back to the point, gets it back, shot blocked again. Nova doing a better job of getting into these shooting lanes. Nestor holds up. Held it a little bit too long. Lupe was able to take it away. Adrian, good pick off there. And again, Nova just nowhere to go.
Yeah, they've really been shut down, not only in the defensive zone, but the neutral zone as well. And this is what you see is Södertälje just turns it around, turns it up, and gets going in the offensive zone.
Betty gets it back to the point. That shot off his man in front. Had a decent chance. Finding the back of the net. Deco for Nestor. Shot there by Nestor. Easy save for Sorsa by the end of it. As, again, it's, every 5 minutes, if that? Sorsa's seeing a shot right now, and for the most part, they've been easy saves.
Yeah, he's been pretty routine, Tugi, and that's what I've said. You got to get bodies in front of him. You got to get the traffic set up, or maybe get an extra pass. We know he's a veteran goaltender, and it's not going to be easy to beat him.
Corner has it. Vladia on the backhand. Thought he might go for the 1T. Full pressure for the first time for Nova. And another good save there by Sorsa. Nestor on the doorstep.
This is the first time Nova's really looked good, isn't it, Sin? As they get a couple in on Sorsa, probably the trickiest save he's had to make was that high slot backhand trickster shot there, and maybe Nova can build on this with the full attack.
Odd shot there. Doesn't get through. Vladia unable to recover. Nice pass there. The sauce into open space. Still at full pressure. Another 10 seconds. One timer. Good stop by Source of the rebound. Poked in. And how do you like that? Nova getting hemmed into their own zone for the majority of the game, but they do strike first. Vladian on the doorstep gives Nova a 1-0 lead.
Alex with a real good patient play at the blue line there. We're going to get a second look at this. He just kind of takes his time, waits for it to open up, pops it over to Bonner, and, right time, right place, is that just pops down as a free gift, and that's what they needed on Sources, just to continue after it, get on in front of him, get the rebounds. That's what we said. It's not going to be easy to beat this guy, and they get one on the board with really not a lot of time in the offensive zone, Tugi.
Opening goal of the game for Nova, Vladian's 11th of the season. See if that can propel them to a little bit of momentum here. Good contact to knock that one loose. 2.5 minutes to go in the period.
It's interesting, Tugi, sorry, to see a 1-0 scoreline with how this game's really played out.
Has to be frustrating. Was what I was going to say, right? Like the idea of you've done everything right, yet here you are still trailing.
Yeah, it's got to be a tough pill to swallow for sure for them, as they've been really, really good, Södertälje, but it's really been Nova who's now turned it around, and it could be their game through the rest of it if they can't gain control back.
Final few seconds of the period here. One more chance. Zupe elected to drop it back. Traffic was there. That will do it for the second period. A surprise turn of events, as this goal here gives Nova the 1-0 lead heading into the third period.
And it is just a little bit of those plays where you want it to fall, and it does. The blocker shot, unfortunately, Source is not able to swallow up that rebound, and it just pops there for him. His goaltender, he's waiting for the hungry hippo animation, not able to grab it, and it's a nice, easy goal for Nova. And the team that's won 7 of their last 10 games is now up 1-0, where the play's really been controlled by Södertälje. Sveti, Zupe, a lot of really good chances. They've moved the puck around. They've got the saves from Sorsa that they needed, and then all of a sudden, Tugi, what was it in the last 4 minutes there of that hockey game? It's really flipped around. Shots 13-9 here for Södertälje, and there it is, the time on attack. If you were to look at this stat sheet, you would have no clue that Nova is up by 1. They've taken the only penalty here in this game, and they've really just struggled in a big way to get it into the offensive zone, barring the last 3 minutes there of period number 2. So, Södertälje has just got to slow it down, get back going on the game they've played through half of period 2 and the full period 1, and pick up where they left off, and not let Nova continue the momentum they had at the end of period 2. Tugi, will see how it plays out here in period 3.
We are underway here. Thought Supe might be able to pull the trigger on that shot. He was stifled again. Has to be a frustrating situation. One timer is blocked. Nova has the lead. Other shot blocked. They've done a much better job as this game's gone on and getting into those shooting lanes. Helping out the goaltender a little bit more. Supe over the line. Hockey's tried to go back to the point. Zupe was there to pick it off. Stepping in, David nowhere to go. Deco, not quite sure what happened to him there. Opens up space. Another good job by the defense to stifle that shot as Deco takes a hit. Interception there. Connor had nowhere to go. Loses his bucket in the process. try that. Hard around zone entry wasn't quite there this time. Nova still with nowhere to go right now. Offside. And honestly, I mean, Lime, this type of, neutral zone battle, it certainly benefits the team with the lead.
Of course, and I think both teams are just trying to feel themselves out here in period 3. Tugies, this is very, very important. Södertälje, they need to get that puck and they need to get it in, and they're a little bit worried about letting Nova into their zone, as you can tell with the neutral zone hockey.
Continue on here. Tie up on the draw. Nova able to come up with it. Nestor takes the hip check. Few opportunities for Nestor in this game so far, as we have another offside. And Lime, it's impressive. I mean, so far, too, for Nova to have the lead. Again, Nestor is the top goal scorer on either side of this matchup with 24 goals on the season. And he's been neutralized for the vast majority of this game.
Yeah, it really hasn't been an offensive game. It's more been, who's got the better defensive battle. And it's really been at the hands of Nova, as they've had to shut down the Södertälje team with almost, 9 minutes time on attack here.
David at the point. Back from Maisie. Delayed call here. There was contact in front. Södertälje will go to the power play here. Alex there, left defenseman for Nova, heading to the box.
Yeah, so now Södertälje, it opens the door, doesn't it, Tugi, where, gives them an option to, maybe you don't get the goal here, but at least you get a bit of momentum. Obviously, you're going to try to get that banger home, but Berenizer has been so good. You're going to want to get some more tips. We haven't seen any tips from since period 1 here, Tugi.
Back to the point, gets the 1T. Another good stop there by Berenizer. Full pressure once again. One-timer, good blocker save. Work quickly back to the point. Thought they might want the 1T there, just didn't have the positioning for it. Puck on the half wall, and an unbelievable chop as Poner gets that one out.
You can't teach that, Tugi.
That was tremendous space here down the other way. Dangerous situation, thrown off the back of the net by Zupe. Still 15 seconds left on this power play. Maisie, the one-timer. They wanted that deflection front. They got it. Still didn't go. We are back to 5-on-5.
I think one thing that we're, overlooking here too. Oh, that was gorgeous. But how Nova clogs the middle. They're not letting that shot for the tip come from the very, very high slot. It's got to be the one-timer for the tip. They're not letting them shoot from up near the blue line.
Right around play here yet again as a zone entry. Gotta tell you the shot. That one gonna end up all the way back. Down the other way. Now just 6 minutes to go. Nova still with a 1-goal lead. They're onside, but Nestor's able to take it away. Gonna generate some speed, find some space, tried to go across. Defense was there. Big sauce pass. They just couldn't connect.
It's been a bit tough, hasn't it, for Södertälje, as they've, it seems like the hill's getting taller and taller to climb. It reminds me of that Price is Right game with the guy going up the hill here, Tugi, and it just keeps going farther and farther for them with only 3.5 to go. And look at the chop by this guy.
I know, but they've used that quite well in this third period so far. 2.5 to go. Again, the same zone entry. They're continuing to find success. Hockey's down low. Zupe, nobody home. Honor was there. Here's Vladian, the lone goal scorer of the game. Shot on. Good job by Zupe to take away the rebound. Final minute. Again, it's no longer a real-time final minute, just the final 30 seconds, so they have less time than they would hope for. Honor has it again. Down low. Vladian tried the drive there. Excuse me, that was Deco stepping up to the forward, if I'm not mistaken, as Pounder dumps it in. 15 seconds left. Nestor had it momentarily. Hockey's the low shot, almost had the rebound. 6 seconds left. A one-timer just wide. And unbelievably, Lime, that will do it. Nova take game 1 and one of the most well-earned and well-deserved shutout victories I think you'll ever see, is Baronizer just wasn't having it and earns Nova 3 points.
You got to give a little more than half that W to Baronizer, don't you, Toogie? I feel deflated for Södertälje after that one. They were so exciting through that first, what was it, 35 minutes of hockey here that we saw until about this point when Nova scored that goal with not a lot of offensive zone time. And, if you take a look at the stats here in this game, you would think that Södertälje won the game, but no, it was Nova. Vladian getting the only goal off a bit of a broken rebound play where it pops off the goal line, and they got to be happy to be 8-2 in their last 10, where this game could have easily went the other way.
We got to look here at the highlights, quite a few of them, of course, in Nova's own zone. Goaltender coming up with the saves. 18 shots, none of them able to get past Baronizer in this one. As Lime, as the game went on, you start to think like, man, Nova might be able to take this one, but it didn't seem all that likely, especially through that first period. I mean, again, a very, very surprising result here, as again, we're only going to have the one goal to look at, and you can't even necessarily blame Sorsa on that one, although I'm not sure if they're actually going to hop into the replay side of things here. But man, I just a crazy turn of events that particular game. Sorsa had a good game as well, stopping 10 of 11, but not enough. Again, I think the biggest surprise for me is that we only saw one goal scored.
With how aggressive and offensive that game was, Baronizer was flapping all over the place, looking like a wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man, trying to make saves in there, getting his body in front of the pucks, which wasn't easy with how aggressive Södertälje was. And Nova, with their stats, Toogie, I thought this was going to be a very aggressive game, but it just wasn't the case. It was more standing on the defensive side of things and shutting things down, which shows these two teams don't just have it in the offensive zone, they have it in the defensive zone as well.
So with that, we will step aside for a brief moment before coming up with the second game between Nova and Södertälje. And again, with valuable points up for grabs, it's a huge result for Nova. We'll see if they can do it again. We'll be back in just a moment.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back, and as you can see, just about ready to go for our second game between these two clubs. As again, it was a 1-0 victory for Nova in game number one, despite being heavily outplayed. Lime, I think, is a fair way to describe it. You know, we always try to be as kind as we can, but simply wasn't their game. We'll see if they can battle back. Before I throw it over to you, though, and your kind of thoughts heading into this game, a reminder for the Finns that happen to be checking this out on the PS5 side of things, the PlayStation Showdown is coming up, a 1v1 and 4v4 tournament options. All the information that you need on sportsgamer.gg. Lime, I mean, for Södertälje, again, you played well, 18 shots on goal, couldn't find the back of the net. Is it a matter of just sticking to the strategy and hoping that, you know, something finds a way to go through, or do you think they're going to kind of change things up here a little bit?
I don't think you change anything, Tugi. Why stop from playing such a good hockey game? You know, you were doing really well. I don't think it's a matter of if, but when. But Baronizer, he didn't even leave the bench. He waited, he watched them clean the ice, and he's ready to go. So didn't want to change anything on his side of things. We'll see if that is addressed here tonight.
Bit of a chance here for Nova's Deco kind of pinching in there, but defense able to withstand Södertälje in the road yellow and blue this time out. Back to the point for David. Finds Sveti in again. Good movement here early on, trying to find a shooting lane. Sveti, good pass back to the point. Deflection bid and a good save by Baronizer. Not the easiest save to have to make for your first shot against.
No, but, you know, he's comfortable back there. We saw that in game one. He's familiar in between those pipes, making big-time saves in big-time areas. He does another one there. But Södertälje almost has that full pressure system activated. If they're able to win this draw, which they don't, it could have been beneficial for them.
Corner back to Vladian. Tried to work his way through again. Been the theme for Nova in this matchup so far. That collapsed defense for Södertälje, just taking away these chances. Contact there along the half wall. Sveti steps up. Over to Maisie. Good movement here to recover from a dangerous situation. Zupe goes back to his center. Broken up, and Baronizer able to cover.
You know, that's a great hockey IQ by Baronizer, the goaltender there, just jumping over that puck and getting involved behind the net, not allowing them to keep that cycle going. That's a smart play.
Loose puck. Nestor able to recover. Has some speed here. Numbers for Nova. Goes across and they score. The trend continues. Goals out of nowhere. Vladian strikes again to kick off the scoring. 1-0 for Nova.
And that one's a little bit of a gift, isn't it, Tugi? Yawning cage there as we get a second look at that. It starts with Nestor evading a check, and look at the Jets. He just turns on the afterburners and gets that across to the goal scorer from last game, Vladian, and we're in a very similar scenario as we were here in game one just a little bit earlier.
You could see a couple of mistakes for Södertälje on that play. Defenseman gets caught pinching. Pocky's trying to poke check instead of looking to play the interception. Nearly some friendly fire there. There is a delayed call against Nova, however. See if Södertälje need the power play, and, well, they'll get the opportunity. Let's take a look at a rare holding call. Vladian to the box.
Yeah, and Vladian, that's who they want to go off if you're Södertälje, isn't it, Tugi? He's the only one to find the back of the net here for Nova, and now he's going to have to sit for two, and it gives you an opportunity to score here on your power play that hasn't been too bad. You're 28%. You're going up against a Nova team that has a PK of 82%, so they are very good on the penalty kill. Look for those tips.
Easy at the point. One-timer taken to the chest. Like there was some space on the blocker's side, but Baronizer there yet again.
There was a lot of space there. I think the tip was looking for in front as well, and Baronizer, he wasn't really even set for that one. I think he got lucky.
Face-off win. Hockey's in this one. Maisie, the one-timer. Had the deflection in front. That was a tough break foot race for the puck here. The shorthanded effort. Honor able to kill a little bit of extra time. Caught up down low. Setting up for the offense. Zupe sends it across. Just ran out of space. Great look there. As Deco's going to be able to clear this one all the way down. Couple of decent looks for Södertälje on this power play. Still haven't been able to find a way to get a puck past Berenizer. Back to 5-on-5. Honor another good play. Zupe's there for the loose puck. Nova just trying to get this one out. Power sent to the ice. Alex, the captain, trying to work his way through now. The defenseman stepping up. Has it. Gets it back towards the front of the net. Game's opening up a little bit here. Chances on both sides.
Great transition hockey as we see Nestor now come through the other way for Nova.
Towards the front of the net there. Source able to get the pad down. But now back into the attacking zone. At the point. I'm working the perimeter. Miscommunication there. Forced them to reset with 6 minutes to go. Easy again, that slap shot around in open space. Worked out quite a few times. A healed one-timer there for David. Tough break.
Trying to show us what a country mile is on that one as Vladian brings this one down for Nova.
A good shot on there. Not quite the rebound he wanted. And we've seen 2 goals so far through nearly 4 periods of play. Vladian has both of them.
Yeah, he has been good in this game, but you know, everybody really on that Södertälje team has as well. They just haven't been able to find the back of the net. Berenizer's really been shutting the door and doing it in gorgeous fashion as he continues to do so here in period 1 of game 2.
Deco looking to step up. Nestor nowhere to go. Now they're able to hold this one in. The slap shot is blocked. Glove down. Zupe able to find his center, who's bumped off the puck. Connor has space here. Finds Vladian. Tried to go across. They recover. Send back into the mixer. Vladian has it. Back to Deco at the point. Deflection into the glove of Sorsa, who was down in the butterfly incredibly early.
Yeah, he had to be sharp on that one, as that was a tricky little shot with a bit of a tip. And, you know, I don't think Sorsa was really squared up to the shooter, but he was able to make that save. That's his veteran presence as he makes another one there off the faceoff.
Final 30 seconds here. One more attempt. Zupe over the line. Over to Maisie. Drops it low. Svetti's there. Puck in front. Still fought on. That shot blocked. Nestor able to get it back to the point. One more chance. And a great block at the buzzer sees us through this first period. And again, Lime, it's another surprising lead for Nova.
And you know, Nova in the defensive zone, I agree with you, definitely surprising. But how about these guys getting in front of the puck there? You know, a perfect example is the last 30 seconds that we just saw, Chugi, where, what was it, 3 blocks? Guys are literally coming off the bench and just diving face first to make a save for their goaltender Berenizer, who's putting everything you know, against the wall right now, really trying to hold on. We're not going to get too much look at these stats so far, but you know, the tail of the tape is 5 shots for Nova and only 2 for Södertälje, and it's kind of picked up on a little bit of a flip that we saw last game where Södertälje was really controlling the play, and it was Berenizer having to make a lot of big time saves, where now Södertälje only has 2 shots here in this one, where Nova's 5.
We get ready here for the second period. As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. It was a 1-0 win for Nova in the first game. And Nova entering play in 8th. If the season were to end today, they would just make the playoffs. Södertälje in 6th. Talked about how close of a race this is in terms of those final few playoff spots. And Nova going to be taking on GIFU Hockey, who is the team that, well, is in between these 2 clubs, currently in 7th. That matchup coming up a little bit later on in this broadcast. Good wraparound attempt there. Zupe back over. Bakis takes his time to the point now. David back to the forehand. Takes his time. Sveti nowhere to go. Good job there by Nova defensively. Didn't give him anything. Nestor to the point. Deco. Shot deflection. Scores!
Well, Tugi, that one kind of just came out of nowhere, didn't it? Is it turned around from the point on a shot that was tipped in front, and that one blows right past Sorsen. What a shot there with the tip right over the pad. We're going to get a second look at this as it transpires right down from Nova territory. They don't get a lot of offensive zone time as Nestor goes back to Deco, and that one's tipped in front by guess who? None other than Vladian.
He can't keep getting away with it. Can he? I mean, he has...
I guess he, I agree. He can't, but, what do they call this in soccer? He's the striker here, and he's been doing well.
Has all 3 goals in this matchup. Both goals, of course, in this game. As Deco unable to hold on. He is the lone player to have a goaltender's number on either side of the ice. As Vladia now up to 13 goals in what is his 20th game here. And he might not be done. This game's not even half over yet. But that is a gigantic goal for Nova. You wouldn't think so, judging by the stats. But the fact that Södertälje haven't scored yet has to be weighing heavy on them right now.
Yeah, and it's not at the task of not trying here as Sorsa makes another routine save for Södertälje. And they've been really pouring it on in the offensive zone. It has to be a bit deflating here, Tugi.
Here we go. Big face-off here. We have seen Bakis really control the draw so far, but a clean win. Alex to the forehand, deflected again. And recovered. Nervous moments there. Luckily for Vladian as well. He ended up going for the hit. Didn't make contact with anybody. Down low. Betty tried to reverse it, took the hit. Alex, good lead pass. Counter back to Vladian, poked away. We're halfway through this game now, a 2-0 lead for Nova. Might not be done. Here's Vladian. Main man in this one. Held on to the puck too long, though.
You got to worry when he's got the puck here if you're a Södertälje player, as he's been very good. Here comes Nestor.
Nestor with speed. Tried to cut across. Just couldn't maintain possession. And he was the guy to keep an eye out on, I said, heading into this matchup. The leading goal scorer on either side. Then Vladian taking center stage. Missed time there for Nova. And offside's the call.
So pretty routine hockey here if you're Nova up by 2-0. Is you just, you don't want to change your game, do you, Tugi? As you've been very successful so far.
Another face-off coming up. We see Nova with Vladian in the dot. Starting to utilize the tie-up a little bit more. He was struggling to defend it in the last game. Using it well in this one. Alex gets a shot on. Kicked out by Sorsa. Coupe to the forehand. Can't get it through. Gets it back. Poked away again. Mistimed there. Mazy, I think he thought he was going to be able to pick it up in stride. It kind of lost its momentum. Has it again. Gets it down the wall. Coupe, short angle there. Rough angle, short side, I should say. And again, Aronizer is there, and they have to be wondering what it's going to take to get a puck past him in this one.
Yeah, he looks so good, doesn't he, Tugi? He's over there, he's set, he makes the save, and he's reset for the next one. It's going to be interesting what beats him, but this could be it.
Sveti not going to have the speed, has to drop it back. One-timer, broken stick, breakaway for Powner. He scores!
You can't script this. Like, you cannot write this. It goes down the other way. I say this could be it. Sveti doesn't have the afterburners turned on. He forgot to plug in the NOS bottle. A broken stick on a one-timer that looks like it's going to be a goal for Södertälje, and it ends up going down in a breakaway the other way. You get a look at it from the one-timer. It's right onto the stick of Pawner, and Pawner says, hold up, let me cook backhand, baby. This one's in.
Sorsa got a lot of it with the blocker, but it wasn't enough. It goes from bad to worse. An aspect of the game that a lot of people wouldn't mind seeing removed in terms of things you can't really control, broken glass, broken stick. We don't see it cost the team too heavily all that often, but it cost Södertälje big time. Now a 3-0 lead for Nova. One more chance here in the second period. Zupe can't hold it. Now one more chance here. Deco couldn't get it ahead. Nova will gladly kill the clock. 3-0 the scoreline. Heading into the third period. Lying perhaps 20 minutes away from a perfect 6 out of 6 points in terms of this matchup.
Tugi, man, you know, I don't know what Södertälje has to do to get one past Baronizer, but they got to feel deflated, and I'm not really sure how game development works, but you got to be interested to see, you know, why don't we just throw in a little bit of a broken stick off a one-timer from the blue line while you're being pressured on the other side of things. But how about Södertälje? Only 3 shots in this game where Nova has 3 goals. You're not going to win hockey games if you're only putting in as many shots as the other team has goals. And how about Nova just kind of weathering the storm in game 1 and coming out here in game 2 and being so aggressive and scoring at will. 3-0 here as we go into period 3. And if they keep playing the game they have in 1 and 2, it's going to be a pretty easy finish with 6 easy points here for Nova.
There's 3 shots on goal. The Södertälje side of things, shocking based off of how that first game went. Again, 18 shots in total. Could not find a goal. Fortunately now, still can't find a goal. And struggling a little bit more on the offensive side of things. Icing here in an aggressive face-off set for Nova.
Yeah, it's been, you know, very, very good for Baronizer, and he just wants to hold on for 20 more minutes here as he's played a perfect set of games here as this one comes down offside and a shot after the whistle. They're not going to like that, Tugi, is all 3 players going after that man in the corner.
This one's going to come all the way back down the other end based on that outlet pass. Good chance again here for Nova. They win the draw, but Sveti steps into it. Quite have full stamina, but they still are able to work it into the attacking zone. The great spin pass, and Baronizer makes another save. I think, though, they're going to want that one back. He committed very heavily blocker side. That's where the shot happened to go.
Yeah, he's got to feel good, and maybe that's just how well he's playing. He's reading and tracking so well. That was a gorgeous little couple of give and goes by Sveti and Zupe, but they just can't get anything past Baronizer, and that's been the tale of this game.
Sveti back to the point. One-timer deflects, but goes wide. Sveti wins it back to the point. Mays' shot blocked down. What a defensive game Poners had in this one. Has a breakaway goal as well after that broken stick. As another icing call, already the 3rd of the period, or second at the very least. But an offside call from before that might as well have been an icing. I mean, it just kind of shows these breakouts, they're not really able to get it going.
Yeah, it's been very, very tough here in this game for Södertälje, and I think that's where the deflation comes in, Tugi, is they played so good in game 1 and weren't able to get past Baronizer. You come into this one with kind of your hands in the air, and that's what we've seen here tonight.
This one back. David at the point. Gets it through. They score. And finally, Lime, they find their breakthrough. It's Zupe in front who gets a piece of it. This one might not be over yet.
Well, you know, a little bit of commentator's curse has to be dipped in to get the boys going. I love it. Little D-to-D pass back from the line, and what looks like a meaningless play ends up in a gorgeous tip in front, and that's where the big tipper comes into play. And they're able to get their first goal. So, you know, it was obviously going to be a goal like this that beats Baronizer, as he's been so good with the direct shots here tonight. So only 2 more needed from Södertälje here in period 3.
This is why we say shots are never a bad thing in this game. They finally got that deflection goal, and it wasn't even their centerman in Pakis who has the gold big tipper. Like you said, it's not even necessarily a requirement.
No, it definitely isn't, and I agree with you, Tugi. You know, big fan of shots. Tugi actually listens to the Little John Shot song before he comes out onto the ice, just to reiterate to the boys when he's getting the gear dressed up. So we'll see if they continue with this here.
If it was my choice, that would be exclusively played Intermissions in between face-offs as well. And don't look now. Södertälje back to within one as they have a second goal. Sveti finds the back of the net. Lime, that was out of nowhere. They've kind of struggled a little bit in transition, but not this time. And just like that, it's a one-goal game.
You know, the exclusivity comes into play. What a pass up the right-hand side. Sveti and Zupe have been giving and going for this third period. They do it again here in period 3 and find the back of the net. And Tugi, this game that was out of reach in period 2 is now just in the grasps of Södertälje.
14th of the season for Sveti. A huge one there as suddenly all of the momentum is in Södertälje's favor. Sveti tried to find the sentiment. Deco was able to make a good play, though.
Hugi, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I do want to reiterate that Nova did pick up 3 points in game 1. They are now 1 point ahead of Södertälje in the standings, currently sitting in 6th place to Södertälje's 7th. So this game has a lot on the line as they get another Tugi.
Lime, I'm stunned. I am not. Neither of us, for that matter, are often lost for words. Södertälje looked dead in the water just a few moments ago. 3 quick goals, and we are tied. As out of nowhere, the script has been, you can't even say flipped. It has been thrown through a shredder.
Yeah, you can't write this stuff, and I apologize, Sugi, for taking the call from you there, but I didn't expect that to happen. I know you didn't, as we're now all knotted up at 3, and we've got ourselves a game.
Second goal of the game for Sveti. A shot there. Good blocker save by Baronizer halfway through this third period. Trying to tell you all the momentum. Backhand on. And Baronizer able to make the save. Nova have let a 3-0 lead slip through their fingers here and now have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, 3 unanswered goals here where the momentum is clearly at the hands of Södertälje. Nova really would need the next goal.
Nestor nearly broke through. Movement here. They are onside. It was close, but couldn't find the follow-up pass. Go back to Nestor, contested at the blue line, does gain the zone. Can't find the pass. 7 minutes to go here. One of these two teams to claim 3 points in the standings for a regulation win. We saw Nova pull it off in game 1. And they do it again. That was a great play, but a better block. Second chance, they score!
What a play, Tugi. That was gorgeous passing by Nova in the offensive zone. And to be dead honest with you, I don't even think Nestor got all of that. The play was so nice. Goaltender completely out of position with how many passes were played around, and he doesn't get the full shot away. He does end up going off of the skates there as it's a broken play off a shin pad. What a pass out front there by Vladyan. He kind of just backhands this over to the far side to Nestor, and he doesn't get all of it, Tugi. Take a look at this. It's just a half shot, but because the passing play is so gorgeous, Source is already over to the right-hand side because of the broken play, and Nova now up 4-3, where Södertälje could almost feel it in their hands.
It's a gigantic goal, to say the least. I mean, again, right when it looked like Nova lost all the momentum, Nestor finally finds the back of the net in this one. But that, Södertälje need another big goal here. Echo stepping up, the defenseman back to Vladyan. They're onside. Vlad over, good blocker save there by Sorsa. Honor tries to drive that short side. Vladyan still in the mix, wins it back. Honor, good patience, reverses. Deco just gets rid of it. Good kick save by Sorsa. I didn't think Nova would be able to get a shot off there.
Yeah, that was a gorgeous little toe save. Last second effort to get the leg out there, and there's 2 minutes to go, Tugi.
Vladyan recovers down low. Covered by Zupe again. Only the real time 30 seconds, so they're running low on time. Zupe to the forehand. David gets it back. Can't get the shot through the traffic. Nestor can't get the pass up ahead. Man down, just a mad scramble for the puck. Södertälje have it. Zupe in front. Kept out. Runner has this one. Clears it back to the neutral zone. Just 10 seconds left here. Sveti has space. The shot, big rebound. Alex is able to clear. And that will do it. Nova blow a 3-goal lead, but still win in regulation. 4-3, and Lime 6 points taken off of Södertälje. That is a tremendous result.
And they are as hot as the Gotham Knights right now, Toogie. That's going to put them 9-1 in their last 10 games. Nova jumps from 8th place up to 6th place as they pick up 6 huge points here, Toogie, to put them up to 38 here on the season. And now they have an opportunity to steal 2 from GIFU Hockey. As we said, how important these swing games are, where they almost dropped this lead to a team that looked like they weren't even going to be close to picking up a W in this one. They come back, they score 3 goals, but how about the resilience here of the team in purple? Södertälje not able to hold on and continue to push it through. It is Nova with 6 big points as they celebrated center ice.
Just a very surprising set of games. Again, for Nova to walk away with 6 points, 2 regulation wins, with a 1-0 victory in game 1, and then here, I mentioned blowing a 3-goal lead, but they hold on to win this one 4-3 in regulation. Just an incredible set of games there, to say the least. And of course, the action continues for the Nova side of things coming up as you get a look there at the final numbers. 20 face-off wins to just 5 for Nova as well. You can't look past that as a big factor in this game. But Nova's going to be continuing on here, as you mentioned, Lime. The second matchup of the night, GIFU Hockey coming up, and they have to be feeling good about themselves right now.
Yeah, to be able to weather that storm and come back and get a W there, Toogie. How awesome is that? You see the time on attack ended up going to 10 minutes for Södertälje. You've got the pressures outside of this as well. You've got a team that you're going up against that is 2 points in front of you coming in here tonight. 3 points is huge. You don't want to go to overtime, as you explained. Last week, it is very important to win these games in regulation. Nova understands that. They come through with 2 massive wins with the help of Baronizer. And I don't know who picked these games, but they did a pretty good job for storylines tonight here, Toogie, as we're going to get to see now the 6th versus 7th place team with more 6-point swing games.
Schedule worked out very well in our favor for this broadcast. We will be back after a brief intermission. Nova continues this charge up the league table as they take on GIFU Hockey in our second matchup. So stick with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back again. Thank you for sticking with us here at SportsGamer for our continued coverage of the ECL's Pro Division. You can find, of course, every Tuesday. I'm joined alongside King Liam, and Liam, we continue to follow along the path of Nova here, as after 6 points secured in that first matchup, they move into their second matchup of the night against GIFU Hockey. And as we were just talking about before we came back on air, they've made a really strong push up the standings. We'll take a look at it, but those were some big results for them.
Yeah,
As we'll go to Group 1 here, not Group 2 here in a second.
as a little bit of a substantial results here, but let's take a look at what we're not going to be looking at tonight over in group 2 here. I believe 2 is, a lot of teams on that right hand side of the board haven't played a lot of games, but let's pop over into group 1, and there it is. Nova has jumped up to 4th place with those wins, and they can continue rising up the standings. As remember, they were down in 8th place where GIFU Hockey is now, and that's who they're going to be playing against.
Yeah, so I mean, as much as the first matchup was a great opportunity for Nova against their first opponent in Södertälje, now against GIFU Hockey, it's GIFU who has that similar kind of setup here to be able to make another strong push back up the standings. We do know that the teams are about ready to go, so we'll quickly bring it to the team stats here and our quick little run throughs to get the action here and ready for you. We look at the team stats so far this season. Nova certainly looking that much better in terms of goal differential after those last 2 games, but GIFU Hockey, especially despite a kind of rough start in terms of special teams, they are still looking very good in terms of goal
Yeah,
differential.
Yeah, that's what stands out to me, Tugi, is that special teams on the right-hand side of Nova. But you're absolutely right. With the lack of special teams, GIFU Hockey has still been able to be successful. So, when your 5-on-5 play is clicking, that's where you want to be most successful. They have been there. They just need to get it moving on the power play. And what a team to do it against with one as successful as Nova.
So we'll skip over the team lineup here and I think go straight to the head-to-heads, and we'll start off at the center position here. Of course, we saw Vladian in that last matchup for Nova. Very strong effort from him so far tonight. Has technically 2 more goals on the board that haven't been reported yet. He's up to 13. Sika Stormy on the other side, 20 points in 18 games so far. Has the advantage in terms of faceoffs on the season, but we also know Vladian's numbers are better than that, as he dominated the faceoffs in game 20.
Not only did he dominated the faceoff, he was the only person to score up until the last period of game number 2. So they're gonna have to watch out for that, as Vladian is hot right now. His thumbs are going. He's gonna look to continue that, and he was great in the faceoff circle in the previous set of games. Tugi, you're absolutely right. So I really think you got to throw that out. It's going to be a toss up down there, even though Segasormi has that almost 55%.
We go to the winger comparison here next for GIFU. It is Riggs and Ghetto Masi against Pauner and Nestor, who had a really strong performance in our first matchup, but again, have an interesting duo to have to deal with on the other side from GIFU.
Yeah, Gifu's putting out a couple of really good guys in Ghetto Massey, and Riggs has 21 goals for Riggs. He has been the player to look for on that left-hand side. They love to move it back and forth with the pointing, open up some space over for Gifu. And then as we saw for Nova, it is just run and gun and press, 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 as it was really Vladian putting the puck in the back of the net, and Nestor and Pawner were able to help out in the defensive zone. But remember that goal from Pawner that opened everything up.
We look at the defensive comparison next. As for GIFU, it is asses, not asses, as we know. And yeah, boy, on the other side, tremendous hair, to say the least. Going up against Alex and Deco. And for yeah, boy, we haven't seen him too much this season. Just 2 games played so far. He might be the X factor in this particular game.
You know, he may just be that is no goals on the left-hand side for GIFU hockey, but how about the apples there from Ossis as he's been moving the puck well and blocking shots, but so has Nova. We said that before our first set of games and how well they have been moving the puck around, getting the pucks on net. They are adding as they're scoring and have been very aggressive on the hits. So the forwards need to watch out for the 85 and 69 between Alex and Deco.
And of course, the goaltending on our final head to head here. Baronizer was absolutely fantastic in those first two games against Södertälje. But on the other side is Sundstrom, who has been absolutely lights out so far this season. He has had an incredible season to this point. And, someone who gives his team a chance to win. I mean, it's all you can ask for from a goaltender, and he's exceeded expectations, I would say.
Yeah, those numbers on the left-hand side in 18 games are astronomical. You know, almost 90% save percentage in 18 games. That is absolutely nuts. I don't know if I've seen that before, Tugi. 4 shutouts, very impressive numbers, but pump the brakes because Baronizer played with that style of numbers in those first 2 games. He was phenomenal, barring that last period. So we'll see if he can pick up where he left off.
So again, we are about ready to go. It'll be 2 games. The regular season matchup between Gifu Hockey and Nova going head to head here. Both of these teams currently in a playoff position, but we know that nothing is set in stone. As we get a look here at the 2 clubs, a lot more of the PMD on display from Gifu. More of a typical setup, I would say, that you see a playmaker down the middle and the sniper with the 1T, but of course Nova running a couple of different looks there on the defensive side of things. And that was something that was noticed in chat as well. I had seen in that first game, but I'm obviously we've both called a lot of NHL esports action over the last couple of years, to say the least. I know it's shockingly we're not new at this. By the way, our Finnish audience, PS5, PlayStation Showdown, 1v1, 4v4 tournaments, all the information that you need on sportsgamer.gg. I still have the standpoint, even in a competitive sense, I would still much rather see people use builds that they feel like fits their style rather than just meta build, meta build,
Totally.
meta build.
Totally.
Um,
Uh,
but
it,
a lot of the times you don't see that, and people, even if it doesn't necessarily fit their style to a T, will go with those meta builds, and I feel like that can be counterproductive sometimes. So I like what Nova's doing, trying some different looks.
It reminds me of Call of Duty. Everybody goes with those,
Mhm.
what they see meta builds on their guns. And I just think you need to go with what suits you best. That's why you can customize. And, that's when you're going to be most successful, in my opinion, Chugi. But we've got a great game on our hands. Nova in the purple, Gifu in the white. Take it away, my friend.
Here we go, and an interesting pass there. He just wasn't able to get that one through. Deflection bid and an early kick save by Baronizer. Does that sound familiar for anyone who was with us through that first series on tonight's broadcast? Chop attempt there, but it will be Riggs who comes away with it. Mossie's going to be offside on this one. So again, as we had talked about, both of these teams currently in a playoff spot. Nova had moved up from 8th position all the way to 4th after their 6-point effort against Södertälje. Now it is Gifu Hockey entering play in 8th. And a great opportunity for them to move up the table as well. Good blocker save from Sundstrom early on.
That's Vladion getting comfortable where he was in the last game in the goal scoring role as he gets a quick shot there, Tugi.
Nestor able to recover this loose puck. Riggs, though, able to find down the other way. Just a bit too much traffic to try to dangle through. Defensemen running into one another. Alex will reset. Deco looking to step up. Tries to hold it in the zone. Turns it straight over. Cowboy not able to get that up ahead.
Both teams trying to feel each other out. That's why you're seeing a lot of neutral zone hockey here. Is Nova just trying to get it down low, and they finally do.
Shot by Vladion. Blocker saved by Sundstrom. Riggs finally corrals that loose puck. Had nowhere to go. Echo, good patience here. One too many moves. Reegs takes it away between the legs. Back to the forehand. Ends up on goal. An easy stop for Baronizer. Down to Poner. You can see tired legs out there for Nova. Ball back into the trap. Felt well. Nestor able to pick that one off. Halfway through this period. Gets it back. Out by GIFU. We saw Nova at times in those first two games struggle to get those zone entries under control.
Yeah, it's been very just a slow and back and forth hockey, hasn't it, Tugi, as we finally get Reegs going off.
Backhand read well by Baronizer. Nowhere to sneak that one through. A second chance, though. Shot by Getomasi, not able to sneak it past him. Vladian, bit of speed, holds up in the corner, back to the point. D to D. Echo back to Nestor. Stepping in, one-timer, blocked down. Bit of friendly fire.
Yeah, there was a yawning cage down there from Sundstrom as well, so that was a good block. Well, I guess not, because it was Vladian.
Bouncing puck. Be able to settle it, got it up through, not David, that was the last matchup, of course. That's Oz, as we know. Reegs able to take it away. Getomasi over the blue line. Igasormi able to reverse it down. Reegs is there. Tried to go back to the middle. Defense able to cover it. The stalemate between these two teams continues. We wind down time here in the first. Reegs the centering feed. Igasormi in control. Been off for too long. Highly contested below the goal line. Good poke check there by Nestor. Trying to break through with speed. And instead, he'll take a seat in the opposition's bench.
This has been kind of a slow period, hasn't it, Tugi? Not a lot of offense going either way, and more of a feel-out period as we haven't really got a lot of action.
Deco over to Alex. The forehand shot through, glove down by Sundstrom. He'll cover. 1.7 to go. Nova's going to go aggressive here. I like it. Pulling the goaltender for one more opportunity, and why not? They do have time if they can get a clean win here.
Yeah, and pulling the goalie, I love the move, but it doesn't work out for them as the face-off is won by GIFU Hockey. And Tugi, before I get into this, what did you think about that period?
I mean, you were right. It was very much back and forth, the feeling out process, as we'll see some of the clip of a member of Nova taking a seat in the opposite bench.
Anyway, he goes over, but yeah, I agree, Tugi. It's been just quiet, hasn't it? Is 4 to 4 shots? It felt like less. Is we're not going to get a lot of look at these stats. I'll see what I can grab on the tablet here, but only 4 shots on either side. 9 hits for Nova, 7 for GIFU. So it's been more of an aggressive game, which is no surprise as we saw in the pregame. A lot of body checking being thrown around by not only the wingers but the defensemen as well, but not a lot of shots on goal. It's been very, very quiet, and we haven't seen much yet.
We get ready for the second period. As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. Again, it is our weekly Pro Division spotlight here every single Tuesday. Again, our second tier of competition, only below the Elite Division, which will be back in action tomorrow. Again, more on that a little bit later on. Loose puck bounces around, and Baronizer finds a way cover that one, but Lime, that was another scary moment.
You got to be lucky to be good, and you got to be good to be lucky, and that one kind of just popped into the hands of Baronizer, didn't it, Diggy? He was out of position there in a big way, but it just kind of fell into his lap.
And Nova, 6 points in that first game. Still, that first series. I still can't believe it. It bears repeating. How big that could be here. Sigasormi flying, poke check. Baronizer takes it away.
What a great
And that
play.
was going to be my point, Lime. You talk about why they were able to secure those points. He was the biggest reason.
And you love how quick he makes that decision, Tugi. That happens a lot faster than you think. If you guys are watching and you don't play the game, if you do play the game, you do understand how quick that turns around. And for Berenizer to make that decision that fast is just very, very impressive. As we're going to get a power play now, as GIFU's going to go to the box, and Nova gets a chance now to Nova's going to go to the box, and GIFU now with a chance after that big dive by Berenizer.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be Vladian going to the box again. He has had some disciplinary troubles in this one when it comes to the body checking, so their center will take a seat, and a great opportunity here for GIFU Hockey. Find the first goal, but their center jumps. Don't see that too often. Alex can't clear it out, though. Going back to Getomasi. And again to the point. Bender pinching and across, they score!
Gorgeous goal.
Well done by
Yeah.
GIFU Hockey.
You love to see the puck movement too, Tugi, as your boy really controlled that whole play, didn't he? As he dropped it down the right-hand side to Getomasi, back up to your boy, and he just walked in and feeds it perfectly out front to Segasormi, who gets a second opportunity after he gets robbed there in the breakaway.
Again, just the boys' third game of this season, but an excellent play there. As a power play tally is Segasormi's ninth goal of the season now. As the breakthrough for GIFU early in the second period. They might not be done. Save Forrest there as Berenizer on the short side. Delayed call here, though, against GIFU. It'll be Nova going to the power play unless they score here. Deco had nowhere to go, so we'll see Nova with the power play opportunity of their own.
So GIFU capitalized on their power play opportunity. Nova has a chance to answer the bell, and after how quick that goal was at the other side for GIFU Hockey, they would be happy to bury one quickly here. And this is kind of just a careless penalty out front where a body check happens well away from the puck, and Nova with a big opportunity now. And look at, they set up aggressive.
Getomasi in the box. Face off one. Deco tried to go back over. Back from Nestor, playing with fire, finds space, pass off the mark, Pounder has it, and a tremendous job by Riggs, picks it up in stride, breakaway is broken up on the back pressure, but tremendous effort by Riggs to hound the defense, and he might not be done, couldn't get the pickup though, but what a start to the PK here for GIFU.
Smart play for him to kind of sit back as he got the opportunity there, and he's making good plays in the defensive zone as well, Tugi.
Echo across, what a save! Sundstrom able to keep that one out. Phenomenal kick save here as GIFU will survive, but remember that one, an outrageous stop, keeping Nova off the board.
A big time stop, and it catches a piece of the piece of the post, as well as Sundstrom getting active down low and keeping it a 1-0 game for GIFU, and Nova not able to score in the power play. So we'll see if they can pick it up in the latter half of this game.
Deco's pass doesn't get through. Getomasi. I mean, it was a great pass to get it to him, but hey, there's still an offside rule in hockey, even if some people don't think there should be. I'm one of them. I would love to see not only real hockey, the effect that it would have on EASHL games if
Maybe
offside wasn't a thing.
10 games a year, they run no offside, no icing, and just let the boys fly. Wouldn't that be something?
There's a chance there on the backhand. Good stop again by Sundstrom, denying Vladian, who again, red hot after that first matchup against Södertälje.
Yeah, just trying to build on what he's done in the first two games, trying to continue to do it here. Not able to find the back of the net, but remember, Tugi, Nova wasn't able to score until very, very late in the first game tonight.
And a pause here. Didn't see if there was a disconnect, perhaps. There might be a good chance of it. As
yeah,
at the very least, we get a look at the stats in this game so far. Again, GIFU the lone goal on the power play. Wasn't able to see there if indeed we had a disconnect, so we'll wait it out the next 5 seconds before play resumes. Yeah.
Yes, it looks like they do have a winger there that is not
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So
All right. So we'll bring it back to us here in the booth as we are going to require a restart at this stage, and well, it could take a couple of minutes to get things going. But Lime, your thoughts on the game that we have seen thus far? As we'll throw it to a break after that until the teams are ready to get going again, because it could be a couple of minutes.
yeah, I think just the special teams, isn't it? As Nova ends up falling there as they end up taking it to the box, and GIFU Hockey comes through, and their power play percent, which we talked about beforehand, Tugi, was only near 16%, so not very good. And they're able to score here to build on that if they're continuing to up the special teams where they've been great 5-on-5. They have a great opportunity to win this game. But like Tugi said, quickly grab some Kovalan Lakritsi. We're going to hold on here and wait for these guys to get back. We'll grab a break and bring you guys back into game time.
Absolutely. So stick with us here. We'll be right back as the two teams will get rematched up, and we'll get back on track.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are finally back, and a big thank you for sticking with us here through this restart. It is GIFU Hockey and Nova getting ready to continue on. Again, the first game of 2 between these two clubs, with GIFU having a 1-0 lead, as they are just finally getting the time reset and getting ready to go live. Of course, we still have these these archaic setups in terms of trying to get games back on track after a disconnect.
Yeah, this is the game we play. It is things that we have to do sometimes to get ourselves set up, and we are finally there where GIFU Hockey leads here, Tugi, 1-0, and we've stuck with Nova all night long, and they've really been a late developing team. So watch out for that as we get a face-off in the offensive zone for them.
We are back on. Let's see if the restart benefits one team over the other. This one's going to go back towards the neutral zone. Oh, actually back to GIFU zone as they look to get things going here. Sorme sends it around the back. Reeks the wraparound. Getomasi's there. He had a wide open net on the backhand and could not find it. Almost iced out there, maybe. Who knows? Maybe a little bit cold. Had this game, or had that chance happened without a restart, maybe he would have found the back of the net. We'll never know. Here's Reeks. Goes across. Great chance there as well. Getomasi just ran out of space. Sorme sends one wide. Still in the attacking zone, though, for GIFU. It's Reeks. Now Getomasi tried to tuck that one 5-hole. Good stop there.
It's not the first time those saves have been made by Baronizer. They've tried to go 5-hole on him short side more than once there, Tugi, and he's been able to answer the task, and that allows Nova to come out quickly.
Nova in the attacking zone. Deco gets absolutely leveled. Held on to the puck for too long. Getomasi with space. Rockets it across. Defense read it well. Still head in. Held in there. Good shot. Baronizer comes up with the stop. Another chance. Sorme tries to hold it in. Getomasi has it poked away.
Good defense here by Nova, and that allows them to be turn around hockey, and that's what they've been very successful on so far is transition hockey. Is we get to the end of the second period, and I know it feels like it's been a while here in game 1 with the lag out, but we're finally starting to get moving here once again. And Tugi, a lot of aggression here in this game with not a lot of goals. Same kind of scenario that we saw in our first set of games.
It's going to be interesting to see how this third period plays out, given the restart, you know, kind of the momentum that may have been lost from these two teams. But a big chance now for GIFU Hockey to kind of make the most of it. They are up 1-0, heading into the third period of play. Again, Nova has been perfect so far tonight in terms of points accrued. 6 for 6 on the evening, but they got to find a little bit of a comeback effort here against GIFU, and we'll see what they can do as we get ready for the third.
Yeah, it's just all about really playing your own game. Nova did that in game 1 where they were able to squeak out a win, and that's just what they got to do here as well here in their second set of games.
So here we go. Third period is underway as Reeks quickly across. Opportunity. Getomasi just couldn't beat Baronizer, which again has been very, very difficult for teams to do. So far tonight is Getomasi the sauce. What a play! And the second goal of this game for the centerman Sorme, and GIFU double up the lead. It's 2-0.
What a gorgeous pass that was, the saucer pass to get that puck to Sega Sormi by Ghetto Massey. And Sega Sormi kind of scored this when he was falling in, you know, Bobby Orr fashion. Is look at this little saucer pass through the middle, and then he's falling. It reminds me of the old Ovechkin goal from back in the day, Tugi.
Ah, yes, where the Coyotes were put on a highlight reel for the end of time. A tremendous goal there, make it 10 now, double digits on the season. Sega Sormi and a 2-0 lead for GIFU Hockey as the restart hasn't exactly benefited Nova. They were trailing before and now trailing by 2. Big's in control. D pass. Yeah, boy, gets it through. Good stop by Baronizer. No big rebound.
Yeah, and Baronizer, he hasn't looked as good as he did in the first set of games where he was almost perfect, stopping everything in game 1, where game 2 got away from him a little bit. But it's been a little bit different test going up against GIFU Hockey here in the second set as we get a 3-2 now for Nova.
On her back to Deco. On her again! Somehow gets it into the crease off the post. Close call. Maybe their best chance so far.
I think it is their best chance. A little bit of a bank play from behind the goal line. They're going to get another opportunity.
Nestor, the pass over. Good stop by Sundstrom. Penalty called as well. As Nova was looking for a rebound, it wasn't there, so interference is the call. You simply can't do that anymore, and this is a tremendous chance now for GIFU to score on a power play and make it a 3-0 game.
GIFU has just been really capitalizing on their power play chances with a very, very low percentage. They got one already in this game. We'll see if they can get another one here.
Off face-off. Clean win there. Send back to the neutral zone. GIFU already have a power play goal in this one. 2-on-1, and they score!
Well, you
tremendous patience, Lime. Ghetto Masi outweights the goaltender, and GIFU make it 3.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that this team has been having trouble on the power play, would you, Tugi? Coming into this one with 15%, they've got a couple of goals on the power play, which has put them ahead of Nova in a big way, and it starts with guess who again? Your boy who takes a hit to make a play to Ghetto Masi, and he just takes it to the house himself, where your boy has 2 primary assists now tonight.
Far too aggressive from the PK effort there with 2 people stepping up at the blue line. And then ultimately we saw it there from Baronizer. Didn't trust the defense or the communication. Just wasn't there, but didn't trust that the force pass wasn't going to be the effort and gave up a wide open cage. GIFU Hockey, 2 power play goals in this one, now up by 3. Looks like for the first time tonight we'll see Nova drop points.
Well, let's not count our chickens. We know that, you know, Nova has been down by 3 before in the third period. Or no, that is the opposite. Sorry, they were up by 3 and blew that one. So maybe you're right, Jiggy.
11.5 minutes to go as well. And of course, you know, Lime, we've talked about it a few times, right? You have the, oh, what a pass up ahead to Reegs. You know, it's now just the real-time 30 seconds instead of the full final minutes.
Yeah.
So you have even less time to work with.
I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not a player of the game anymore, but, you know, from the standpoint to the booth, you know, that does have to be frustrating as you're so familiar with that long time minute for, you know, how many years, Tugi, as long as I can remember. Yeah. And then the quick change to 30 seconds.
Do you think it's, you know, another thing that puts emphasis on trying to win in regulation and being more aggressive? And speaking of aggressive, the captain steps up into that one-timer. Alex finds the back of the net, and Nova are on the board.
Well, Alex gets them moving, and you said it yourself when we were chatting in between games that Nova's kind of just a slow-starting team, and, you know, you could be just right as they don't get their ball rolling until the third period in this one with a long break in between, which probably wasn't beneficial for them, but they capitalize on a one-timer that's now going to put them 2 goals behind with ample opportunity to come back here in period 3.
Shout out to the Unwanted boys for the raid, by the way. Our Elite Division clubs this season. We have 8 minutes to go in this game. First game of 2 between these 2 clubs. Of course, we had to have a restart due to a player disconnect. GIFU up 3-0, but Nova's last goal gets them back into it. 5th goal of the season. Their captain, Alex.
And Nova just has to keep building on that, don't they, Tugi? Is they just need to keep that ball rolling, as they've been very aggressive in the hit category, but it's time to start scoring some goals.
As Riggs shot blocker save there by Baronizer. So we're back to Getomasi, has the most recent goal for his team. You could really use him to get another one. Here's Alex stepping up yet again, feeding to the middle. It's broken up. Mister recovers, and Echo tried the odd angle shot. It actually ends up out of play. We'll have a face-off here.
Yeah, cute little play there by Nestor over to Deco. And Deco, he tried to catch him sleeping. And why not shoot now on Sunstrom, as you need a couple of goals with only 5.5 to go.
Alex to Deco. Nobody home on the pass, at least not to the jersey he would have preferred. Alex recovers yet again. Nestor. Saucer further down the wall. Broken play. Nestor gets lit up again. Here's Riggs. Space for GIFU. Rocketed through the slot. Nobody home. Contact there by Poner. Just 3 minutes left in this game. Nova have to be aggressive.
Yeah, you don't have a choice at this point. There's a huge body check to get the ball rolling. Doogie with another one on the way back. And, just trying to get some momentum going. They need to score quickly, though. They've only got 2 minutes. And like you said, you don't have a slow minute.
Up ahead to Riggs. One move too many. Nestor recovers. Just over a minute now. Nestor's on side, but it's taken away. GIFU trying to ice this one. Breakaway. Riggs. He scores, and that will do it. GIFU Hockey gonna walk away with 3 points. Great finish on the backhand.
What a dagger by Riggs to come put that one in. And, you love the play on the breakaway. Just so gorgeous as he's back and forth, kind of sashaying by, holding it on the forehand, dropping it over to the backhand. He finally takes it backhand and puts it home and catches Baronizer. And, this is a great game from GIFU Hockey. And I love how close this puts the standings, as now you're going to have GIFU Hockey going up 3 points.
Nova had a lot of momentum heading into this game. GIFU didn't seem to be bothered by it whatsoever. It'll be a big result for them. It's our 3 highlighted teams on this broadcast. Great stop there by Baronizer at the end. Again, they started today 6, 7, and 8 in the standings. There might not be that much separation by the end of it, as that will do it. It's a 4-1 victory for GIFU Hockey in game number 1 between these two teams. A big result for them. They were in 8th place entering this matchup, and they'll be moving up the standings as well, just off of that result alone.
The team that was in 6th place is now sitting in 8th here. So, you got to be happy if you're Nova. Obviously not in that game, as they take an L here to GIFU Hockey. But GIFU Hockey is going to pick up 3 big points and put themselves up to 36 points on the season and continue their streak. They've been hot in their last 10, and they come up against a Nova team who's been hotter. And, they got to feel good in getting 4-Bass Baronizer, where Baronizer looked like he couldn't be beaten in game 1. Series 1, but in this one, GIFU Hockey took control in a big way, Tugi.
Tough when you have a goaltender that can steal you games. In my opinion, he's really only made 1 mistake tonight that's led to a goal.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, just the team in front of him not putting forth the effort that was really needed there. Is, again, you got to take the numbers with a grain of salt, with the exception of just 2 shots for Nova upon that restart. Again, from the restart, just over the midway point of the second period, clearly, GIFU were the ones that were ready to go, to put their foot down and make the most of that opportunity to see that game through, and they did just that. So credit there. Again, it's not the full stats or anything. Again, we did have that restart, but with that, I don't know if they're going to give us a look here. We'll see if they do, but of course, we did have the couple of goals there upon the restart. We'll see what they do for us here live.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a few of them here, as there was quite a few goals afterwards, as we'll get this look
So we
Oh,
had our first
that's
goal to
I
get the
like that.
score back.
He was dancing. He was dancing. He was looking good. So let's get into our real goals. And how about this backhand pass by Ghetto Massey, able to find Segasormi, who scored the first goal as well in the game one, and he was just kind of falling and put that one home to you. And then our next one is going to be Ghetto Massey himself, who takes this one to the house and goes backhand bar down.
Again, that's the one that you look at the goaltender to say you got to trust the defender to take away the 1T. And
Yeah.
then again, maybe he did think he was going forehand, So that's the only one I'd really look at to be like, man, you kind of want that one back.
Yeah, I agree with you. And your defenseman has to give him a bit of help. You can't stay with that guy right to the very end. You know what I mean? You got to, at some point, Tugi, you got to be diving over with that stick check, but it's tough to make that timing play, right? And then here's going to be our last goal with the daggers. He comes in on the backhand and finishes this one out. That is Reegs with the gorgeous finishing moves here on Baronizer. And, well, Tugi, that's a great set of games that we've had so far, and we still have one left.
One more to go. We'll be back to set the stage. One more game. Nova and Gifu hockey coming up. Stick with us.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are good to go. We are back. Thank you for sticking with us here at SportsGamer. It is Tugi and one King Lime on the call for our fourth and final game of this Pro Division Spotlight broadcast. GIFU Hockey and Nova going head-to-head one more time. It was a big 3 points secured for GIFU with a regulation victory in that first game. They'll look to double things up here against Nova, who have had a good night, but do need to bounce back. And of course, a reminder, I will be on the call tomorrow with Mr. B Mages. We continue on with our Elite Division coverage. Our top tier is Yippee Voskala and the Fallon Coal Miners, and of course, Roots Gaming taking on Hamo as well. Lime, kind of a similar situation. Yip's done very, very well this season, but for the other three teams, that situation where, again, hey, where are you going to be at the end of the at the end of the season in those standings? And that was kind of our story here in Pro today with a team like Nova, who, like I said, now have 6 points on the books, but would love to pick up a few more here.
Yeah, as it gets to a scenario where this game has some more importance to it after losing that first one Nova did. If they lose this one outright, they're now going to be a point behind GIFU once again. So Nova really wants to win this game. They look to come out strong as they already are. Nova in white, the dark jerseys. We have GIFU. Take it away, Tugi. I'm ready.
We continue on. First period of this game. And I swear, I was just about to say, Nova needs a better start. Couldn't even finish the sentence, and they scored the opening goal less than 2.5 minutes in. It's been their main man tonight. Vladian gets the goal, and Lime, what a start.
Yeah, and I just said it to you, didn't I, Tugi? They need to come out and win this game. They don't want to be 1 point behind GIFU again, as that tip comes from guess who? Vladian. He's been great all night. He's really been an instrumental goal scorer here for Nova, and he picks up an early first period goal, and that's exactly where they want to be. As even you said it, Nova's a slow start team, so the fact they're able to get a goal early is definitely beneficial for this hockey club.
I mean, Vladian, perhaps Vladian. Oh, Vladi's on today. He has had a tremendous performance for Nova. As a deflection bid there, nearly had his second goal of the game. It was a big stop there by Sundstrom.
He's getting to those dirty areas, but here comes GIFU.
Puck in the corner. Briggs now. Upended by Nestor. Nova trying to get it back going. They're onside. Pounder to Alex, stepping in. And a good shot there, forcing a big save from Sundstrom early on.
I even put my glasses on today, Tugi, and I'm surprised that one was onside. A great job by Nova to kind of hold the line there and get themselves in. And isn't this a different team we're seeing, Tugi, from Nova at the start of this period?
Seems to be a theme for them.
Yeah.
It's just, very... I don't want to say inconsistent, but it is almost a tale of two teams. And when they're on their game, good job there, Deco. Able to get a piece of that one. When they're on their game, they do look very good. But you mentioned, the idea of okay, they can be a bit of a slow starter.
Right.
We saw that in the last.
This one, pick a name out of a hat kind of deal, right? You're absolutely right. You don't want to say inconsistent, but you're bang on.
Nestor turns it over. Reeks tries to go 5-hole. Good stop there. Body up ahead for Deco. Onside. Because Orme was there to take it away as we approach the halfway point of this first period. Good outlet pass up ahead. Amasi couldn't make the move. Sends that one around. And off down low. Good attempt there from Pounder to try to step in. And Amasi trying to make the play. Loose puck, fighting Vladdy. Penalty called here. Didn't see what it was, but Nova going to go to the power play. Going to be a hold here.
Yeah, I'm looking down at tablets that Ken provides us here, and you know, that is a big hold in the right hand corner. Is I think what they thought is that puck was going to end up with the player, but it is going to be held on. As there you see the board pin, and that can be so tough, can't it, Toogie? You never know when it's great to play that one, as it can be so close. That one they get caught on the wrong side.
Power play chance here for Nova. It was GIFU very effective on the power play in game 1 that really helped them win that. If Nova can duplicate that success, so far the answer is no. First 30 seconds killed off relatively easily. GIFU as Vlad steps in. Nestor back to deck. A one-timer, they score! Well, how do you like that? Another goal for their captain. This one on the power play. And I mean, the heat on that shot, I couldn't tell where it went initially. Slams that one home.
Yeah, you can't even see that shot be taken. And isn't this a different hockey team that we're seeing here? I'm very, very impressed with Nova coming out and scoring a big goal on that power play. They must know the importance of this game here, Toogie, as this is a huge one in them to stay in front of the team they're playing, and they are taking it in a demanding fashion so far.
Trouble there for the moment. Baronizer able to cover, so Nova very strong pushback here. I mean, I don't think you really could have asked for a better start to this game. Long way to go, though, to see it through. And, you know, as you mentioned, they did have trouble closing out the other game. Too, that we had seen with the blown 3-goal lead that they did end up winning in regulation. GIFU looking to get things going here. They'll have to find a goal before the end of the period. Need to avoid giving up another one if they can. Are able to pick this one off. Nestor not able to play it off the boards the way he was looking to.
It's been a bit broken this period, hasn't it, Toogie? Besides the goals that have gone in, is there's another puck that just kind of falls onto the stick of Reeds.
Thought he might have put it on net there, elected to hold, had nowhere to go. Found her back to Alex. Did he pass? One-timer, kick save by Sundstrom. Plays it out, despite heavy traffic in front. Good job there, though, by Nova. I mean, they were able to get back. Deco gets, well, decked. Chance for Powner. Good save, Sundstrom. I mean, it's surprising for GIFU here, but they could be down by more than 2 if it wasn't for some strong saves.
Yeah, Nova's been really, really demanding here in this period. As I did say, the plays have been broken, but when it has been down low, it has been very successful here for Nova as GIFU comes through, and they almost put one in, and they are going to take a power play as well here, Toogie.
I mean, it was a great save there by Baronizer. Nova heading to the kill, and a great chance for GIFU now on the power play. Did you see the penalty called there? Maybe a little bit of a light one, but counts nonetheless. Opportunity here for GIFU hockey.
That's the cross-checking where you have to add discipline to your player when you make it, Toogie. That's where the meta builds come out of play, as you were talking about earlier, and getting the discipline put onto your player.
Full pressure here. Riggs back to the defense. Looking, stepping in, and he gets the goal. Great patience on display again from Geromasi. And it is a power play goal for GIFU hockey. They're back in the game.
And yeah, I think patience is the word you need to use on this one, isn't it, Toogie? As you know, I would have shot that 4 times as he just walks into the slot, taking his time, gets around the one defender. This is gorgeous. I can watch it as many times as they can show it. As the pass over, and he just kind of cooks his way through the middle and goes bar down. What patience, and a gorgeous goal to get GIFU hockey on the board.
A big goal there. Another goal for Geromasi. He might not be done. Sends it in front. 2 seconds to go. One more chance. Shot deflects wide. So a late power play goal sees GIFU back into the game, but they do trail 2-1 at the end of 20 minutes.
It has been quite an interesting period here, hasn't it, Toogie, where Nova has, put their foot on the gas a little bit, but ended up giving up a penalty where GIFU was able to score, as you saw Ghetto Massey late in the period get one. So we are at a 2-1 standpoint here. And with Nova really showing up late to game 1, 2, and 3, they've shown up early here in game 4 and got a couple of goals. Now, we're going to get to see if they're able to hold a lead. We haven't been able to see much of that coming through. We know they lost a 3-goal lead in game 2 tonight, but they were able to come back and get that one in overtime. So it is just going to be about controlling the play and controlling the lead as we get a look at a couple of the goals here. And Vladyan's been very, very good for Nova. They're going to look to continue for him to keep his foot on that pace here, Tugi.
Maybe some frustration there that he was able to get that deflection. I can understand the sentiment perhaps on that one. But again, just goes to show why pucks on net are typically a good thing to go for, obviously. Like, we've had that conversation plenty of time.
Your favorite song, right? You can play it all the time. Shots and shots and more shots as we get into period number 2 at 2-1.
Of course, as always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalon Lockerty. It's the second game of 2 in the regular season matchup between Nova and GIFU Hockey. GIFU taking the first game. 3 points for a regulation win. Of course, Nova's been our spotlighted team tonight. Their 2 matchups. GIFU looking for a strong start, but that was a weak shot there that Nestor's able to pick off. Has it in control. Back to Alex. Can't get a shot off clean. They're looking to get the breakout going here if they can. Contact at the line. Fowner trying to walk in. Has the defenseman Deco with him. Back to the point for Alex. D2D, one-timer. Good opportunity. Fowner stepping in. Another good chance here for Nova. I don't know how they didn't have a goal.
He would have scored there, Tugi, but that went off of his own player once again. So they had that broken twig available, and now Reeves is going to try and take advantage.
Good chance on a net drive down the other way. Both teams playing with fire here defensively. I'm going to try to go up ahead for Vlad. And Amasi will drop it back, and GIFU going to try to get a controlled breakout here if they can. Be a miscommunication.
This game kind of reminds me of like a summer storm here. It's all quiet and raining, and then you get these shocks of lightning where a big play comes out of nowhere, and then it goes back to being this quiet game. Tugi, very, very interesting strategy by both of these teams here tonight.
Don't be surprised when I steal that analogy line. It was tremendous.
Thank you. Feel free too. Feel free.
GIFU now. We're halfway through the second period already. Not too many stoppages, if any, now that I think about it. Fowner tried to get it up ahead. Yeah, boy was there to take it away. Again, just his second night of action. If not his first, those first 2 games, I actually didn't check to see if they had played those while we were covering our first matchup. It might be his first bit of action tonight, and he has looked solid. Pass over to Nestor. Still have the Deadwood there along that left board. Good poke check there by Reeves. Down the other way. Goal scorer for his club. Gets the one-timer. Good save there by Baronizer. Up to 10 shots on target here. And would still love, you talk about things that you'd like to see added to Isha, right? Like, we've had our conversations about spectator mode and all that stuff. I would still love to see it track the shot attempts compared to the shots on goal, because I feel like shots on goal don't tell the full story. Gives you a good indication, but...
I think that is something they can put into spectator mode, you know what I mean? Maybe having, extra stats for us to have on screen while we go over things. I know I'd love that. I know B-Mage, the stats wizard of them all, would absolutely love that. And we'll just see what they have to give us. But you're right. There is a lot that they could do with it.
Fast-paced second period. Just 3 minutes left to go. Because Sormley can't make the pass. Step up there. Yeah, boy makes the play. Now down to 2 minutes.
And if the stats were put in, they were put in, Tugi, but you were right. This is his first bit of action here tonight.
We approach the final minute. Space for Pounder out of nowhere. Great job by the defense. No penalty called. Final 30 now. Chance for Riggs down the other way and equaled out by Alex. Just a pure stalemate here through this second period between these two clubs. Somehow the scoreline holds heading into the third period.
Unbelievable. I didn't expect that at all, Tugi, as we were 2-1 in period one, and I was expecting both of these teams to come out heavy here in period two, but it was a little bit more of a goaltender show where both teams were trying to find themselves in the offensive zone, and when they did, they got a barrage of shots. Goaltenders had to make big time saves to keep the scores where it is, and then it went back to being quiet neutral zone hockey where, you know, I think that benefits Nova, where Nova is up by one. They've had trouble holding leads. They were able to scrape one out earlier at the end of the game as a team was able to come back and get a 3-3 tie, but you look at the shots here, Nova has only got 6 to GIFU's 11, where goaltender down there for Nova has had to been good, and Baronizer once again, Tugi.
Here we go. We get ready for the third period. 3 points up for grabs here with a regulation win.
And an important 3 points, as these teams are only going to be 1 point apart if GIFU wins the game, Tugi. It's a big third period underway, my friend.
Here we go. Let's see. It's been a strong night for Nova, as we mentioned. The hockey, they're looking to pull off the double. We talked about it. 3 teams we've seen on broadcast. Södertälje as well. A little bit earlier on, they entered play 6, 7, and 8 in the standings. Top 8 in each group do make the playoffs. As Nestor's going to be taken down, delayed call, and Nova go to the power play. Tremendous chance here to try and tie this game up.
Yeah, and you know, the power play for Nova has been really good. They're 30%. They have been clicking at all cylinders. You know, GIFU coming into tonight with a 72% PK. That is not great, Tugi. So this could be a turning point of the game if Nova knows that, and to try and get some aggression, to try and get the dagger early here.
Off the face-off. Sormi wins the draw, but it is Nova back in control. Patience from Nestor, working with Deco. Deflection bid, save, loose puck. Lundstrom's able to cover.
Yeah, your boy's been very, very good in the offensive zone. He was really the staple of the goals for GIFU, but he makes a great play in the defensive zone as well there as he takes the puck back to Sundstrom and lets him cover it up, and they kill off 30 seconds on this power play.
Face off. Won by GIFU. Errant pass. Won't kill as much time. Possibly could have had they just sent it down. Nestor to Deco, pinching him with speed off the back of the cage. Adyan couldn't get the shot off. Back to the point, and not sure what happened there. But a mistake for Nova leads to an offside as well. That wasn't too pretty.
No, to say the least, I guess, Tugi, is that one's going to be a face-off right outside for Nova. Definitely not what they wanted, and only 31 seconds left on their power play, which looked like a good chance to start, but is few and far between now.
Riggs carries this one in, pretty much killing off the rest of the time. Lottie to Nestor, we are back even. He scores! We have a tie hockey game here right as we get back to 5-on-5. And Lime, I got to be honest, I'm not sure how that one went in. I thought that was played expertly by Sundstrom.
Yeah, that's huge, and it is going to be a 3-1 game as Nova jumps ahead on that goal, and the goaltender was there to you. Like, how I'm with you, man. I have no idea what Sundstrom can do better. He's going to go back and watch those replays, but he looked like he was more than there. Not only there, but he was overcommitted, in my opinion. I don't know about you, but you know, GIFU's just going to have to battle back and work hard. As you know, that's a tough one to give up if you're the team and the goaltender.
Of course, correction on my part in terms of the tie game call. Not so much.
Well, you know, it felt like GIFU was ahead with how they were playing Tugi, so I don't take that from you in any way, shape, or form. It definitely felt that way. I felt the same.
Thinking back to last game maybe and how that one was playing out and what we've seen from from Nova before, but yeah, certainly not the case. Right, it did feel like it would have been a 2-1 GIFU lead, but no, it was Nova with that super hot start.
I felt the same way. So when I looked at it, I was just as surprised as you were when I saw it pop up. I was in the same mind frame as you, my friend. So no harm, no foul. It's 3-1 with 10 to go.
Goes to show it's just been a really interesting set of games between these two. Very unpredictable. Here comes Nestor. Has help across. Good kick save by Sundstrom. Another save. Covers that puck. Plays it out into danger, but sensing that they need time. Actually drew a call out of it as GIFU's going to go to the power play, so the risk from Sundstrom pays off. Interference is the call, and, well, here's a chance to battle back and get back to within 1.
Yeah, and for lack of a better word, their power play has been awful this season, but they have scored 2 huge goals in this one to up it. Their power play's been clicking in this game. No better time than right now. You want to get one now to make it a little bit closer to bring it to 3-2.
They're unable to clear. So, we got GIFU now trying to get set up. Big opportunity on this power play. One back in front. Good job. Seal out that post. Between the legs pass. Vladian was able to get there and clears the puck as well. Gigantic play by him.
Yeah, massive play. And here comes GIFU back up the ice. They're trying to make plays with this power play they have and not give it away like Nova.
Chance in front. They score. Another goal. Getomasi gets them back to within 1 with the power play tally.
Did that ever come out of nowhere, Tugi? You know, it looked like a seamless play in the corner. Puck was being cycled around, and there's the cut. And what a play by Getomasi to get himself out front. I love having another look at this as Alex tries to clear it up. And guess where the puck starts? None other than your boy again, Tugi. Hasn't he been instrumental on the offense from the right D position? He came in tonight with gorgeous hair, not a lot of games played, and he's playing absolutely fantastic for his club this evening.
Here we go, back to within a 1-goal difference. 7 minutes left in the period. They might not be done. Echo up ahead for Nestor. Split here wouldn't be the worst case scenario for Nova, but if GIFU can walk away with 6 points in this matchup, that would be an incredible run from them.
We'll take them from 8th to 4th place, Tugi. So this is a huge win if they're able to scrape it by in regulation.
Echo at the point. Shot deflects away. Boy up ahead. Low shot. Big rebound. Defense was there. Echo getting held up 3 forwards deep. The defense pinches in as well. Like the aggressiveness from GIFU. It's Vladi unable to take it away. Hands perhaps. No. Held on to for a little bit too long. Yeah, boy. D-to-D pass in front. They score! Broken play, but now we're tied 3-3. A huge goal for GIFU hockey.
That storybook, Tugi. It's funny when your boy held that puck in at the line there. I sure will get another look at this one. I just thought through my head, wouldn't it be amazing if he got the tying goal? As he comes through and gives it over, and what a play as that one just pops out front like a gift for him as it sits there with a yawning cage. He puts it home, and well, now you're really going to see some aggression pour out as 3 points is everything in regulation.
Here we go. We are tied. 2 minutes left. This one sent down the wall. On goal, Baronizer plays it out. Will we have a regulation win? It'd be a great result for the teams around these clubs if they were to go to OT. You can tell GIFU want to win this one in regulation. Igastormi can't hold on to it. We are in the real-time final 30 seconds. Now down to 20. Ladian on the half wall. Back to the point. Alex to Deco. Finds Nestor, but a lot of guys still stuck on the back end. Nestor throws it on from an odd angle. Trouble here. And Sundstrom has to squeeze the pads to keep that one out. 6 seconds left.
Sundstrom had to be sharp on that one too. Yeah, I want to take you in a time machine back to game 2 where Nova was up 3-0 and ended up having Södertälje come back and tie it. They did win in regulation. It looks like they're not going to be able to win this one in regulation, Tugi, but they were able to come back and win their last fall of 3 goals. Do you think they can do it again?
A tough call, but I mean, a great comeback for GIFU at least. Both teams have earned a point. They'll fight for the extra point in this overtime. So, I mean, for GIFU, regardless now, it's 4 out of 6 points at the very least secured. Nova, you're now looking at 7 out of 12 on the night. It could be 8 if they get the win. So it's been a good night for both teams. So it just makes me wonder how aggressive either side will be for that extra point. But I mean, this is a matchup I think that both teams could look back on to say, oh man, if we lose this one, man, how big could that extra point have been?
Well, even going to overtime is tough, as GIFU Hockey is now looking at where they would have been up at the 39 point mark. They're only going to be sitting down at 38, and now Nova's instantly ahead. So regardless of this one, the 3-point system switches in a big way, but we have overtime underway. Tugi, take it away, my friend.
Here we go. Let's see who is going to walk away with that extra point. You knew there'd have to be some overtime in at least one game tonight. There's a chance early on in front. Good job by Deco again. He's done well sticking to Reegs on those play attempts. We've seen GIFU go for it quite a bit. Stepping up to keep it alive. Battled forward down low. Reegs has it again. Tries to get it low. A cluster to try and find this puck here. Esther up ahead. Deco. Thought there might be a boarding call there. It was not. As the feed in front, loose puck, it's in! And GIFU Hockey have pulled off the comeback. Make it 5 out of 6 points in this matchup with the overtime winner.
They gotta feel good after that one. And it's funny, as soon as your boy got the puck there, Tugi, I said, uh-oh. And he comes over the line, makes his routine pass. This one's going to get put in their own goal. But, we've seen that play before, haven't we? Where it was your boy Segasormi, and this time it's your boy to Ghetto Massey, and he just tries to go far side. It's put in by defender Deco, who was so good in this hockey game. Unfortunate for him as that one goes in. I believe that was Deco. You might have to check me in on that one, Tugi. But regardless, that is 5 massive points there for GIFU after Nova picked up 6.
So the hat trick goal will count for Ghetto Massey. A big game there. And a result for GIFU Hockey is Nova not able to kind of capitalize on the momentum that they secured with that first matchup. But a solid night overall.
Absolutely. And now GIFU and Nova are going to be all locked in at 38 points, hanging out together up near the 5th, 4th place mark. And Södertälje, who was ahead of these guys to start the night, are going to be back in 7th or in 8th spot. So it's interesting how quickly things can shake around. We explain how important every game is in SportsGamer GG games, regardless of what division you're in. You want to come through and get those 3 points everywhere, as they're so important, Tugi.
Big result for both teams tonight, but that does bring the action to a close, as we'll bring it back to us here in the booth. They are going to go for the replays, unfortunately. With the overtime and the restart there, we do need to look to wind things down as quickly as we can here. But at the very least, and actually hit, you know what? They are going to go through the replays. Lime, it was great to be here. I do have to go, like,
Absolutely.
instantly.
No
so I will
problem.
allow you to wind things down,
No
but your
worries.
boy's got to go. I'll see you tomorrow on Elite Division coverage.
Well, if you have a day like your boy, you should be all right, buddy. Have a great day. And guys, tune in with Tugi tomorrow. I'm going to walk you through these replays as we're got a look at our overtime winning goal. We're going to get a look at through the rest of them. This was the one-timer that was an absolute rocket there from Nova high in the slot that blast past Sundstrom. Just a gorgeous goal there by Nova. And then we get a look at GIFU's climb back as there's Ghetto Massey coming through with his patient goal. And then this one is going to be the short side one that looked like Sundstrom was well committed on that left-hand side to get that one through and in. And then GIFU just continuing with gorgeous cut plays. That one to get O'Massey. His hat trick in this game was absolutely massive. And then we get our ya boy goal. And I think, yeah, I believe this is the ya boy goal for the tying goal. And then we'll take ourselves through our overtime winner for GIFU, put in by their own player. Very unfortunate, but your boys passed to get O'Massey to get that one through. Get O'Massey was instrumental here tonight and absolutely fantastic for his club and able to get the boys ahead here. So you love to see that from GIFU as we get a real look at what's going on and the real insights as it's kicked in by his own player. So very unfortunate. The game we play, guys, that is just what we're dealt, and a fantastic one at that. So we'll come back to Lone Me, and look at that. The hero is all ready to go, guys. It's been a fantastic matchup tonight as Nova came through, as we've got some great matchups tomorrow, as well as we have the Elite Hockey. We've been telling you guys tonight, Brandon, B-Mage, Bigsby, and of course Tugi coming through to bring you Yip and the Coal Miners against Root Gaming and Hemo, which should be some good hockey starting tomorrow at 19:45 CET in the Elite Division. So make sure you guys jump in and join in some more great hockey from myself and Tugi, who is no longer with me. I want to give a big thank you to Kovalan, Lakritsi, and SportsGamer GG for giving us a place to do what we love. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for more Elite broadcasting.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.